It is that time of the year again, even though I'm wearing a sweater vest, but it is summertime, which that means it is time for another summer thrift flip or summer sewing series. For this video, we are doing some beginner friendly to intermediate, intermediate thrift flips. There were some things that I wanted to add also into this video, but I just have not been able to finish it. So that's just gonna be a whole other video. I know we're already at the end of July, so how much sewing can I do? Girl, there's a lot. There's a lot of things that I gotta do. There's always a lot of things that I have to do. And it always ends up happening like all at once. That is just the way my life is. So I hope you get to enjoy some of these projects, and I really hope you guys give it a try. Any pattern that I use will be linked in the description box. That is all. Enjoy. Bye. I'm not gonna lie, this t-shirt, I should probably wash it. It's a little stinky, but I know if I wash it right now, like I'm never gonna actually do this thrift flip. So let's just do the thrift flip and then I'll wash it afterwards. This is my XG t-shirt that I got last year, girl. Here's the thing I don't like is that it's too close to my hips. I like it when it's a little bit more like this, so I feel like I can move around in it. This is gonna be a super easy peasy DIY. You could definitely do this even if you don't have a sewing machine. You could hand stitch this. But first things first, I'm going to go ahead and seam rip to where maybe like mid hip, not like all the way up here. So let me mark that. So I marked it up to 14.5 centimeters. You know what I'm gonna watch? I'm gonna watch Will on a whim. He's posted up some videos and I haven't caught him.
Are you tired of your drawings? Like, I don't have that much stuff. And then you start digging through drawers and going through knick-knack, paddywhack. It's actually too much. That sound familiar to you? It could just be trauma from when I was younger and my mom would say Oprah was coming over our house. Gee. What would that be like? So we had to clean that real fast. Like,
Alright, so I have this ribbon, thread, trim. There we go, trim. So I got yellow. I really wanted one that was a little bit thicker, but we couldn't find one, so this is the best we're gonna do. So we're hoping that it pops out. I don't know if I want to figure out how to do it so it goes like, so I'm just gonna connect one point all around to another point and then use the other side, start new, and then boom. It's kind of hard to pin these down. I'm adding in some glue. What? Seam glue? Sewing glue? Something glue? I'm also pinning it just in case, and then I'm gonna sew it down. So this is gonna take a little hot minute. A little glue, glue, glue. And then a little press, press, press. For the next project, I know exactly what I want to do. There actually is a pattern from a girlie called Che, and her label is called Che the Label. I remember seeing this reel, and then she actually came out with a pattern of this top. And now part of me was like, are we really gonna go and like buy the pattern and like print it and cut it and blah, 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 or do you just want to like figure it out at home? Part of me was like, girl, just figure it out at home. But I don't even have paper to cut out a pattern or anything. And I'm like, you know what, girl, pay your money. It's $9.99 Canadian dollars. Let's support a small business, a small designer. I'm gonna go out and print out this thing and I'll be back. This is what I love about Korea. There are printing cafes everywhere. Bam, baby. Now let's make this into a pattern. And now let's cut. Yay! And now we have a pattern. So this is the next t-shirt that I want to thrift flip. It has my lovely Peru on it, but sadly I don't actually wear this all that much because it's not like super oversized and it's not like super baby cropped. All I'm really hoping is that this pattern is gonna fit on this. This might be a little bit too small. It doesn't. I'm going to seam rip this because we need as much fabric on the sides as we can. And so clearly this does not fit. So we're going to do what I always do, which is patchwork everything. But I'm trying to keep this bottom half so then I don't actually have to go ahead and redo this. So I think they'll just be easier. I want y'all to be real with me, okay? Be real with me. When I make like these sewing videos, right now I'm just using a pattern, right? I don't know, sometimes I feel like what's the point of someone watching this if I'm literally just using a pattern? But then at the same time, it's not like I want these videos to be purely like tutorial based, because a lot of the times I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going ahead and doing it. Do you guys find these enjoyable? Why do you watch these videos? Like, would you rather it be a tutorial based or are these fine? Like, I definitely would like to just, I guess, chat with you more like as I'm doing this, you know, like maybe chatting about other random stuff. Because the thing is with sewing, why I didn't want to do like more like sewing content was because I felt like I needed to teach people, and that's one thing that scares me because I'm like, oh, am I the best person to teach someone? At times I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know, like, are these kinds of videos fine? Are you guys okay to just watch me do something? Yes, I am showing you how to do something, but it's not like step 1, step 2, because also at the same time I feel like that could seem a little bit boring. So I'm just wondering, are these videos okay? Whenever you're making content, I want to be able to have like enough stuff that I'm okay, that I don't need to worry like, oh no, I have to go ahead and post up like another video because, you know, being like consistent and always like posting and stuff, because my biggest problem has always been consistency, where I go through times, phases where I'm like, I'm posting all the time and then I don't, right? So I was trying to get myself to a point where I was like a week ahead or something. I was basically just like a video ahead, and I was posting twice a week. I could have posted once a week, so it could have been okay, but honestly, like, I needed to post twice a week because I was trying to recuperate any freaking money from that 1 month that I stopped working because of the surgeries and everything. Basically just like a video ahead, and then I was like, you know what, let me try to do this one sewing thing. Of course, I always think like it's gonna be a lot easier than it actually is. So many things piled up on me of like having to do things and projects and stuff that now I have gone 2 weeks without posting, and that always gets me. It always gets me, you know, giving a lot of content and then you don't. And to your audience, like, there's the people that are always like, oh, you know, don't worry girl, like, we'll be here. But at the same time, I need to also think about like growing my audience so then I can get more sponsorships and I can get paid more and all that stuff. And the inconsistencies that I have is just doesn't really help. I really enjoy doing sewing content, but damn, it takes such a long time. Thanks for listening to me. It's just something that I struggle with. Do I want this side to be the slouchy, or do I want this side to be the slouchy? All right, it is now patchwork time, so this is gonna take a while. Natalie. That's the only thing when I'm doing thrift flips, it's like, if I was working with fabric, I do like, it's all still gonna take a while, but working with just the fabric that you have and having to do these additional steps is like, but I gotta do it. A little tip, I was initially gonna just sew it down here and then connect these two, but then you're gonna get your fabric going this way. So I'm placing it just how it naturally sits. Putting this on top, I'm gonna mark where this overlaps. As the t-shirt goes in this way, then when I put it together, it'll be like this. So then when I flip it out, it's already gonna be aligned with the other side of the t-shirt. So this way you're not gonna get, I did it already on this side and it looks really good. Nice. It looks perfect. I mean, listen, girl, we're working with scraps, so we're gonna take what we can get. I finally have my fabric. Yeah, there's a whole piece here that's missing. So we have this extra little piece of fabric, our last piece of fabric, extra fabric that we have. I'm gonna cut that off, attach it to here, then we're finally gonna have our final piece for the top. We have our fabric. This looks a little crazy, but listen, girls, it is what it is. I'm gonna cut the final piece, and we're gonna put it together to make it into one piece. Actually, not sorry about it. You all should be watching One Piece at this point in time. There's no better time than to start watching One Piece than right freaking now. Like, that's the beauty of it, is that we all don't know what the One Piece is. We all don't know what their major plot points that, like, no one knows. You know, it's not like in the manga yet. It's not animated yet. There, of course, there are theories or whatever, but literally no one knows what that is. It's not like we know it, but then the main character doesn't know it. You know, it's like that thing, but we're waiting for the main character to catch up. No, nobody motherfucking knows what it is. And that's the beauty of it. We're never gonna have that moment again. Once we end up finding out, it's like, you're gonna be able to Google it, and the answer is gonna be right there. And I'm happy that I live in this time where there's still some mystery in this world. God damn. God, this looks crazy.
You take my breath away, feel my emotions push and pull. Shooting stars in your eyes, you're bringing me to life. Love how you say my name, you make it feel like summertime. When you reach out your hand, I find myself again.
I did a lot of serging, but I need to actually put down an actual seam line so that everything is actually secured, especially for the lower half, because it's actually a little bit tight on my stomach. So if I don't put a seam line there, it's gonna pop. And I guess it could go this way or that way. I'm so excited. This is so faja approved. I don't know, should I have made it lower? You know why? Because it's supposed to go this side, not here. I find it so funny that the girl who made this pattern was like, this is gonna be an easy sewing project, like it'll take you an hour. Girl, it has not taken me an hour, but we're finally almost at the end. I'm putting in the elastic that goes under the bust, and then I'm gonna do the sleeves, but I'm gonna try it on like one more time, and I don't know if I should have it like this much out. I think I might want to show off a little bit more, so I might have to do some seam ripping, but I want to finish this before I take out Albie. So excited! Well, Albie lost his shoe just now and went back. Spent a whole hour looking for it. Did not find it. That sucks. What also sucks, this is why you shouldn't rush sewing. Take your time, and most importantly, press your seams. Sleeves, I serged it and I just folded it, sewed it down, folded it again, sewed it down. It's giving wonky. I'm gonna go ahead and seam rip all of this. Also realized that something happened here in the front. Looks also kind of wonky, so I'm gonna go ahead and take all of that out. I'm gonna make sure I'm actually pressing my seams. It's a new day in the workroom. I have just used a twin needle for the first time, and I think she came out really good. Very exciting. That's how I'm gonna finish up the t-shirt. I have a lot of plans for this dress. I fished out my little short pattern that I made from that like 2-piece set. Now I don't want it to be that high, so I have to do something. I'm probably gonna get this wrong at some point. But anyways, yeah, we're first gonna use this pattern to cut using the bottom half so that I don't need to hem any of this. I know when I made it beforehand, like this actually ends up dipping in while this comes out. I don't want it this high anymore. What if this is too short? Ah! Because there's that side seam there, I'm trying to make less work for myself. Outline the back, flip it over, and then outline the front, and then cut that out so it's just one whole panel. You know what I'm a little bit worried is that this is gonna be really thin and you're gonna be able to see like my underwear. I wish I had like cream lycra or spandex or whatever, but what I do have is that black like super stretchy 4-way fabric. All right, I'm gonna try these on. A little worried. What is the front? Okay, good thing it fits. Bad thing. I'm gonna make another pair of these with the black 4-way stretch and add it together. All right, so that was relatively quick, like bada bing, bada boom. Now we have the, you already know what I'm gonna say. I made the same leg. This time I cut out 2 front panels and sewed 2 front panels together. Now this is supposed to be easy. So I cut everything, and now I realize that I should have put all the pieces together instead of like making the lining and then making the shorts. I should have just put the shorts, because now it's gonna be bulky on the sides and we don't like that. So it's time to seam rip. Yeah, it literally took hours to get back to where I initially was. Like hours, bruh. I can't believe this. Oh my god, I have to edit a video. I just realized. Now we're finally back at where I was. I'm gonna put the 2 shorts together. I also realized after I put this together, I was like, wait a minute, you don't ever want the lining to be like stuck to the shell of it. It's always like, it always shifts, and I could have just done a stitch and a ditch afterwards to make sure that everything is, you know, together. So I feel really dumb. Something for you to learn. What is the front? What is the back? These better look cute. Okay, they stretching. Ooh, they kind of little, but they're a little bit little. They are giving me a slight camel toe. It's the black 4-way stretch fabric, because the actual fabric of the dress would have been fine. I think would have been. Yeah, she's a little tight, little camel toe-y, but maybe that's just gonna be the vibe. And you know what the worst part is? Is that you could still see my underwear. I don't know how with this black fabric, but he still can. A part of me is like, maybe you should have just worn black shorts every time you wore these, but then I didn't want to do all of that. But anyways, and now I'm going to get a giant rectangle and kind of put it on the hips. Maybe that'll also help like disimular the fact that you can see my underwear. So I don't want it to be this high, maybe like here, I would say. So this is what we have left of the dress. I did want to try to make one more thing with it. So in honor of patchwork, I cut out some other pieces that I don't want to just go to waste. And we're going to see how much of it can we use to make this. We are going to use this as much as we can. I'm lining this up. So here is our new fabric. I'm supposed to have at least like 87 centimeters to wrap around, and I have currently 44 plus 51. Hey, we have enough. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I used up all my scraps. Oh my god, how exciting. Okay, we have our pieces. I'm gonna overlock them and then I'm gonna try it on and just see, like, should I take out a little bit more? In the tutorial that I saw, the person was saying how you should take out like 5 to 7 centimeters because you do want it to be a little bit cinched in. So let's try it on. Finally, I have my piece. When I was sewing the sides, I made a line like this so that it's gonna cinch in on my waist a little bit more than on my hips, because if I was just putting it like this, it's gonna be uneven. Yeah, to account for that, that's why it goes in a little bit. Now I'm finally gonna attach it to the freaking shorts, girl. How do I do this? I'm gonna put this inside. This is the smaller side. These are obviously where I'm gonna be sewing it. So we're gonna put it in and sew all around it, and then we done. So a big mishap I did the sides like in out, right? So when I fold it over, it's like perfect. The thing is, when I attach this to this, I attach it on the bottom, but the bottom is what the waist is. So instead of in out, I should have done out in. All right, so I want to make a little tube top. I'm honestly trying to use all of the fabric that I can. Tube tops are pretty forgiving, I want to think, because honestly I don't know. What I really like about this tube top, it has this whole thing around it. Cut out another piece of fabric, but in that black fabric actually, that's gonna fit these pieces, and I'm gonna make sure that there's gonna be enough seam allowance on the top and bottom. Essentially cutting out the exact same pieces, but I'm gonna make it long enough. I just want to try this out to double make sure that this actually even fits. Hey, Izu! I'm also wearing my faja right now, so my waist is a little smaller, but actually no, this is good. I feel covered, feel good. I don't feel like así, you know? Así me gusta a mí. I'm gonna seam rip this, and then I'm actually gonna copy the pattern onto some paper, just cause if this turns out really good, which I have a feeling that it will, I hope, I pray, then I can go ahead and just like recreate these tops. So the front piece is a little bit bigger than the back piece, and that's because in the original tube top there's like a little gather right here, and I'm gonna just copy that so that I'm hoping it's a little bit more, I don't know, maybe it will give me a little bit more like So I'm just gonna do a quick little stitch and then gather it until it matches up with the back piece, and then we're finally gonna sew it down. We're gonna sew it down first with a zigzag stitch. All right, we have our tube top, tube in it. All right. And now we have this inside. First thing I need to do is find this like clear elastic. Found it. I think the band goes all the way around. So I'm gonna measure where I think this is gonna be. Say 90 centimeters. And I'm gonna take off like 5. All right. I put the lining and the facing right sides together, flipped it all. I have my line. I also forgot to make notches on what's the center and everything. Oh wait, I have to do that here as well. So now I'm gonna attach the elastic to here. Yeah, I'm gonna attach it with the serger, and then we're gonna go down and then I'll flip it over and hopefully that's it. And we'll have to add in the elastic here. As someone with no like sewing knowledge at all whatsoever, like I didn't even take any class like in high school or anything for sewing and stuff. But what really has helped is doing a lot of thrift flips, because you're deconstructing a garment all the time and then you have to put it back together in a different way, and I think that really helps. I've been sewing for definitely at least 2 years consecutively, I would say. With that being said, when I look at things when I'm either deconstructing it or like this top, I'm like, okay, thinking of my past experiences and all that stuff, like, and what I'm seeing right now, I'm able to kind of figure out what is happening. Keywords, kind of figure out, because this is what I think in theory. I don't know if that actually works. I could probably think a little bit longer into it and be like, let's see if this actually is a thing, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and try it. So here goes nothing. Oh my god, this actually came out really good. The only thing is I feel like I could have gone way tighter on the bust area, because this is gonna fall down, so I'm gonna have to seam rip. Or do I just tighten it here? I decided to first sew down these two, and now I'm gonna add in the band, and I'm just gonna make it like definitely smaller so it could hold up here. All right, so we finally have our band. I'm gonna attach it to the tube top again, and let's see how this works. I feel like the tube top still needs a little bit more tightening, and I really don't want to go ahead and take all this out. I took my measurements around my chest, and I'm gonna add this elastic additionally onto this so it gives it even some more like tightness. Then from there it's done. First have this jumpsuit that I tried to fix because the crotch was too low. Then I made it shorter, but then it just made this whole thing happen. And I was like, you know what? Never mind, let's use it to make something else. My initial thoughts. I want to make a skirt, like a bubble hem skirt a la Blondita. Just make some kind of little like micro bubble skirt or something. Because this top is basically already done, so shoot, let's just use it. I want to keep the pockets, but it makes no sense for a top to have pockets. Like, it doesn't need to be this long, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna keep the pockets, but we're gonna cut here. Ah, she's naked. Okay, this is where we are at. It's giving peplum right now because of this situation. This is where the pocket was. Seam rip this pocket out and sew this down. The invisible zipper is there, so I think we can go as tight as, you know, we want to. I'm proud of myself for just going for it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and seam rip everything that I need to seam rip here, all in one go. Was I crying because of a TV show? I was. All right, so I have sewed the sides, and honestly I thought about even like taking this out because I want to tighten it a little bit, and I thought about seam ripping this and blah, 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 blah. But then I said, Natalie, overlock that shit, then just sew that little like flap down and call it a day, because why we gotta make things complicated? JK, I'm actually seam ripping it all. You know what's worrying me is that I don't like how this top looks. Like, you know, we're gonna do this, I'm gonna bring it in and all this other stuff, but like, I don't know, there's something about it that's just not making me be like, ooh, top. I figured out why this looks so weird on me, why I'm not like feeling it so much, and it's because the waistline is higher than my waist, but where this line is hitting me is about 2 dedos higher. So for me, it made me feel like, why do I look wider? And it's because this part isn't tapered in. It's hitting me right here. So I'm gonna take this in just a little bit more. So I'm marking 2 dedos below this thing. I'm gonna bring that in like, I guess half a centimeter. I'm just gonna here. Hopefully that's gonna make it look more snatched. This side fits so much better than this side. What a difference, just because this wasn't hitting me at my actual waist. Something is off, and this is it. All right, I'm gonna do the same to this side, and then from there, it's just hemming the bottom. I guess you don't need to see all of that. Let's move on to potential bubble skirt. I think I'm gonna have to make an actual pattern for this. I'm gonna have to look at my other video where I made the bubble skirt to figure out how to do it because I forgot. Don't mind me, I was just getting tired of taking things on and off, so now I have a skirt. This is my bubble skirt pattern from when I did my Rococo inspired look for my friend's birthday. Trace this again and chop off like, I'm gonna say like half. I don't want it high-waisted, also I don't have enough fabric for that. I think I even might make it like micro, maybe like here. Oh, that's really little. No. Okay, maybe like here, but maybe. The thing is, because I have very limited fabric, so I'm gonna try to see if I can just patchwork something together so I have enough to make all. I was thinking about making this mini skirt from Blondita. Now what I really like about this skirt is that they actually have shorts underneath. Granted, the shorts seem really micro. Your butt cheek is probably out, and I'm probably gonna want like a little bit more coverage, so that's what I'm gonna try to do. I wish I had done this correctly, because then I could just go ahead and chop this off and it's like, there's my shorts, done, but no. I got to the point in my sewing, you know, experience, journey, whatever, that I'm like, what? I froze. I have been frozen. I want this to be like a mini, micro, like skirt, but at the same time, I'm like, how micro do I go? How much do I cut off? Then again, I could always fix it with like the waistband if it's like too short, right? I could always add in like a thicker waistband. Okay, maybe talking it out helped. All right, I'll make it shorter. This is gonna be so short. Wait, I'm scared. I have my pattern pieces. Now it's time to play patchwork, all this stuff. So, do we even film this? Okay, so one thing that I really want prioritized is obviously the front panels. I'm gonna have that be as seamless as I can, and then the back panels are probably gonna be the more patchworky parts because they in the back. So that's other people's problems. This, as long as this looks good, that's all I care about.
Nothing left to prove, so enjoy the view, taking a picture like Malibu. I'ma have you on tiptoes, watching my diamond afterglow. I know you wanna take me home, I'm on my way, on my way.
Alright, we got our first little piece. TBH, this as like a skirt just like this looks really cute, but no worries, we're gonna make it cuter. But this is what I have. This looks really weird, but and I put the back side instead of the good side, so that's why it kind of looks like that. Oh wait, I could kind of see it. I kind of see the color difference. Whatever, I'm just gonna keep it. I wanted to go up around 3 inches, and currently right now it's only going up about 1 3/4 inches. So I'm going to adjust the lining a little bit shorter, which seems really scary, but I'm just gonna make this a little bit higher just because I want this to really go up, you know what I'm saying? After a lot of back and forth, I brought it up 1 inch on both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather up this whole thing using the serger method of creating those gathers, and then I'm gonna attach it to this. I put the lining inside of the skirt, right sides together, connected each of the 4 notches that I had around here, well, just the side seams, and then I marked where the front and back is, and I pinned it down to my line, and I gathered it with the serger in 4 parts, basically in each panel, so that when I go ahead and do the actual gathering, I could just focus on one part rather than having to do the whole thing. No. Round 2. I gotta leave, or it's 1 o'clock. We're meeting at 3. I gotta leave by 2. I have 30 minutes. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna tell them I'm gonna be late. And I just realized I sewed everything in a 2 stitch length, so I'm not gonna, if this is too short, oh well. Booty's hanging out because this is too much. I mean, yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to put this away because now I need to frantically get ready. Gotta clean my place and then I'm out of here. So, see you later. Doing a test run and she a little shouty. Is that too short? But remember, I am putting shorts underneath this, so I'm hoping that's gonna help make me feel more secure. Okay, that feels so much better. Granted, like, you know, you can really see the shorts right now. I am gonna put it, even if it's like a little bit, you can see the shorts a little bit. I'm okay with the shorts being a little bit visible. That's totally fine for me. I just want to feel comfortable. Right now I'm feeling a little bit scared because I made this a little bit too short in the back. You live and you learn. To combat the shortness of the skirt, instead of attaching it to the top, I just did 1 centimeter down, and I'm hoping that centimeter is gonna make a big difference. For the waistband, I really wanted to keep this for like a little scarf action, but I do not have any more fabric, so I'm gonna take this apart, and this is actually gonna be the waistband. I mean, which works out because it's already pressed. All I have to do is seam rip, and hopefully that doesn't take that long, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, everything is pinned. I'm gonna go ahead and sew it, then put it in the overlock, and we're gonna get a little skirt. Moment of truthfulness. Did this help? I mean, this is micro. This is the most micro I've ever gone. You know what, girl? I'm going to re-iron this, so I kind of make it into a bias tape. One side of the tape is a little bit longer, so then when I actually sew this down, I'll be able to hide that seam that I'm gonna put on it. I think this side is a little bit thicker, so I'm gonna fold this down just like a teeny tiny baby bit, so hopefully that helps. For the first time ever, I actually managed to put a bias binding together, like sew the ends together perfectly. Like, this looks so good. Oh my god, thank you to TikTok. Miss Thing helped me. All right, I'm gonna put this waistband in. This is what, 3.5? No, this is 2 centimeters inside, so it can go right up top here. I'm going to measure my hips, and I want it just a little bit tight. I totally didn't mean to stay up so late. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. But I just really wanted to get this done. Okay, so next thing I need to do, the last thing I need to do is just figure out how short I want my shorts to be, and it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and try this on with their waistband and see if it fits. Oh my god, I can't believe I did this. I mean, of course, I can't believe it. It's me. Finally, time for the reveals. Starting with our easy peasy thrift flip. Now I can finally wear this t-shirt without feeling a bit restricted. I thought I was gonna have enough for the arm cuffs, but I didn't, so I gotta go back to the fabric market to get some more because I think it'll just make it 10 times better. Overall, I think this edition makes it really cuties. Oh my god, words cannot express how much I love my new top. I mean, I don't have many summer friendly tops, plus Faja approved tops, and this one is it, all right? It looks so freaking good. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to rep Peru all the time now. Though now looking at it, I should have made the slouch on the other side because the P kind of droops, so it kind of looks like Oeru. But if you're Peruvian, you know this logo. But yeah, now moving forward, I'm definitely gonna make myself some more of these type of tops. Overall, it was a really easy sewing project. I would just suggest using it on a very oversized t-shirt or just get some actual fabric. I went all Goldilocks on this one. Initially, I made the regular band elastic way too tight on my chest, and then I had to seam rip, and the second one does fit, but I think it needs a little bit more tightening. So I think I'm gonna add in just a thicker band to the back of the tube top. This way it could hold me better without cutting into my chest. However, I am so happy with how this came out. I'm really excited to have another fun tube top that I don't actually have to wear a bra with. Now the shorts, girl, again, she's giving me a little camel toe, but whatever. I really wish I hadn't sewed the lining and the shell together, but here we are and we're just gonna have to deal with it. Apart from that, I think these look great and I love how that extra piece of fabric around my hips makes them look a little bigger, and it's actually really comfortable on my lower stomach too. It was also really cool to be able to reuse a pattern that I made, like, okay girl, you did that. And anyways, I cannot wait to style these. Okay, so this top, I actually need to work on it again. Yup, but I was like, girl, you need to post this video and you could do that another time off camera. But yeah, the hemline is just a little weird and it still comes off like peplum, and that just doesn't look great to me. So I'll be seam ripping the hem, taking in the bottom, and also evening out the hemline so it doesn't have that like center part where it goes up. All right, our piece de resistance, the micro bubble skirt or skirt. I mean, it has shorts underneath. Okay, so we have some things to fix. Yeah, first off, I never hem the shorts because I actually need to seam rip the waistband. Yeah, it sits perfectly on my body, but girl, it is so difficult to get over my butt, which makes sense because I used a belt and not an actual bias tape that would have been more forgiving and given some stretch. And I also just used regular thread, not the woolly nylon stretch thread. Plus, in my head, I didn't want the waistband to look like it was like elasticated or whatever, but I think what I can do from here is seam rip and put the elastic just in the back panel so you won't be able to see it and it'll just be like nice and flat, I guess. Or I can just make the waistband longer so this way it can stretch more to go over my hips. But overall, girl, this is so freaking cute. I just gotta work on the corrections and then I'm gonna wear this baby out. So that is it for the video, homies. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which one was your favorite and I will see ya in the next one. Bye.